Good Tuesday evening, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Been a while, but I haven't had the best weekend, so I'm not going to go into much detail, but let's just say I had some car trouble, but it's all in the shop, and I'm hoping to get my car back by the end of the week. So, long story short, on Friday morning, I had to get my car towed twice. But it's water under the bridge, but I did have to get like a new engine for the car. But it's free of charge, so that's the best part of the whole story. Y'all don't care about that. This is going to be my long-awaited dual review on Captain Marvel and the Marvels. So, I saw the Marvels Thursday night, and just haven't had a chance to talk about it yet on the channel. This is going to be that video, plus a quick review on Captain Marvel. So, I've done a lot of these dual reviews on my channel. Let's go ahead and dive into both of these. Starting with Captain Marvel. This is the second time I've ever watched this movie. And this was released in 2019, right after Infinity War. Like a couple movies after Infinity War, I should say. And then she came back in Endgame. That acts like an introduction to the character. And she was like a fighter pilot by the name of Carol Danvers, and she got like shot down from the Kree Empire, and they took her under their wing, erased her memories, and manipulated her to be part of the Kree Empire. So there was a civil war between like the Kree and the Skrull, which were they're like shapeshifters. There we go, that was the word. So the Kree decided to make her the leader. It turns out the Skrull were actually good. So she was definitely manipulated by the Kree. That's all I got out of this movie. It's not a terrible movie, but it is one of my least favorite MCU offerings. I will say this, it has a really great 90s soundtrack. And I do like the 90s aesthetic to this movie. It acts like a prequel in between Phase 1. And you also get like the introduction of like Nick Fury and Phil Coulson in their early days at S.H.I.E.L.D. Now what they did to explain what happened to Nick Fury's eye is just completely absurd, but he just like gets his eye scratched by like a flurkin or whatever it is. But it's basically like a cat that spits out tentacles from its mouth. It's really weird. But she also goes back with her best friend that fought with her in the military, Maria Rambeau, and she has a daughter named Monica Rambeau, which I'll get into that when I talk about the Marvels, but I really did like their camaraderie throughout the whole movie. This movie's fine, but again, I don't think I would ever rewatch this as often. I mean, you can call me misogynistic, but that's just my opinion. Take it for what you will. I think Wonder Woman is way, way better than this movie. But I would honestly give Captain Marvel a C. It's fine. It is watchable, but it is forgettable. And especially the villain, played by Jude Law, Yon-Rogg. I even had to look up his villain name twice to remember. Yeah. It's just fine. But those are my thoughts on Captain Marvel. And moving right along to the Marvels. And right off the bat, this movie is slightly better than Captain Marvel, but man, is it a mess. The main issue, way too short, but that's also a positive because we've ran into many MCU movies 2.5 hours to even 3 hours. Almost consistently. And it was nice to see a shorter MCU movie. The best part about this movie, of course, is going to be Imani Vellani as Ms. Marvel. She was definitely the heart and soul of this movie. And Monica Rambeau was just okay. It almost seems that Captain Marvel herself kind of like a third character. And that's pretty bad to say if that is the lead character in your movie. But I thought Miss Marvel was probably the best character of this whole movie. Now this movie gets very, very weird. Not to mention, they go to this planet where the universal language is song. I'm like, what am I watching? It gets even weirder. And it has something to do with cats. That's where I lost all sense of believableness. That's a word. That whole sequence was just, huh? But there are so many things that is wrong with this movie. For one, it acts like a Captain Marvel sequel that we've never seen before, and it leads right into Captain Marvel 3. It's a continuation of WandaVision with Monica Rambeau, and it's also a continuation of Miss Marvel with Miss Marvel, and it even acts as a continuation of Secret Invasion. Out of all that, I've only seen WandaVision, so there were some parts where I was lost. And this is truly the first homework MCU movie. I don't have time for a lot of these Disney Plus shows. it just adds way too much. I think that's going to be like the main negative to this movie. You have to go watch some of the shows to like know what's even going on. But the tone was all over the place. The villain was so forgettable. Her name was like Dar-Ben, which is like a female Dollar General Ronan the Accuser, I mean. See, I even had to like remember his name. The MCU is just, ugh. Yeah, this movie like hurt my head. But it is the final movie that we are getting this year in the MCU. And thankfully, they only have Deadpool 3 coming out next year. So that's a good change for the MCU moving forward. But 2025, we will definitely get caught up with what we want to see. But I'm good for like one movie per year. But then there's going to be 4 coming out in 2025. But rambling done. The Marvels, again, just fine. But I found this not to be for me whatsoever. It's more of a movie for like teenage girls and younger girls. And I didn't see any kids when I saw it. And this is like one of the lowest opening weekends for any MCU movie ever. So that definitely tells you a lot about what's happening with Marvel. And it's kind of sad because I really do enjoy the MCU as a whole. But I would never go back and rewatch some of the worst ones. I would honestly just go back and watch my favorite ones and just skip over those other ones. But take it as it is, and I might rewatch some of these other ones when I finally do my MCU ranking, which comes into like my other point in this video. My MCU ranking is going to come at a later time because I just did not watch many MCU movies in like the last month. So I got as far as Thor Ragnarok, but when I'm back in the mood for an MCU marathon, I will finally bring that ranking to you. So, the release date for Deadpool 3, as it stands right now, is I believe July 24th. So I will definitely do an MCU ranking leading up to that movie. But I just figured the Marvels wasn't really an anticipated MCU movie for me. I would rather do my MCU ranking when I have a more anticipated movie ahead of me. So in other words, I could have done it with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but I didn't even think about that. But that explanation is over. But my final grade for the Marvels as a whole, I'm also going to give it a C. Middle of the road MCU, but a movie that I would not really rewatch that often. So, those are my thoughts on Captain Marvel and the Marvels. and the state of the MCU and other things. I was quite a storyteller in this video here, but those are my thoughts, and hope you guys enjoyed. My next video that I'm hoping to get out to you guys as soon as possible is either going to be a Thanksgiving movie review or a Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie review. And I believe Napoleon comes out in the next week, so I'll definitely have a review out for that as well. But that's all I got on the table for now. So look forward to more videos very soon. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios. Peace.